Hello everybody, this is Cameron Snow, and we're going to be continuing our video series on geological risking for exploration. This is going to be a short video, and it's kind of a reminder from our last video on why it is so important that you be consistent in your geological risking. Um, and I'll start off by saying that if your risking isn't consistent across your portfolio, you've wasted your time doing it. Um, And there are a number of reasons for this, but all too often I've seen companies come with a jumble of exploration prospects. Each of them have risking numbers assigned to them, and then you dive into those numbers and you realize they're not consistent, and it's just a waste. And it's not that good work wasn't done on some of them, but it's that doing bad work on a few of them will contaminate the whole portfolio and make it where you can't have confidence when you're looking at numbers in a summary. It means that you then have to relitigate and dive back into every risk assessment. And so that's why it is critically important and why I take this point of view. Um, so first of all, if it's not consistent, then your downstream decisions from this risking process won't be data driven. They'll be based on uh, some type of gut feel or, some type of false belief. Um, if it's not consistent, then your wells are going to be drilled with a false prior belief. If you've got some inconsistent risking, you may believe that well A and well B have equal chances of success, when it turns out that, had you done the risking consistently, you may see that A is much more likely to succeed than B, or vice versa. Um, it's not just hard to balance risk and reward when your risking isn't consistent, it's impossible. You're starting with an unknown. When you don't know that, wells have been risked differently and there's been variable standards applied to them, it is impossible to balance that risk and reward. And what this leads to is it often means that the most charismatic interpreter is the one whose prospect gets drilled. So whoever gives that best sales pitch is the one whose well ends up getting drilled. And this is something that I see happen way too often, which is, you know, the decision is based on the quality of the presentation and not the quality of the underlying prospect. And you know, people's careers get made on making good PowerPoints sometimes. But that's not often what's best for the company. Um, and if you've got consistent risking, it becomes much easier to answer the question, which well should I drill? Um, and when we look at this just in a simple, uh, you know, the simple scenario here, if this risking, has been done correctly, I can look here at my risk volumes and I can say, oh, okay, well, I see that my highest risked volumes are assigned here to this prospect, and that, this next prospect, even though the unrisked volumes are quite high, the P50 risked volumes are non-existent, and that's due to it being a very high risk well. And so, I can make that decision with confidence and make that assessment with confidence if my risking has been consistently done. However, if it's not consistent, and I go into my database and I see that the interpreter that come up with this is, consistently optimistic, and there's no consistency between his assessments, and that this interpreter was unnecessarily harsh in their risk assessment, um, it makes it very difficult for me to go in and say that this well is actually better than this well, where what it really means is maybe that we just had two different interpreters. And so that is why consistent risking is so crucial, is because it allows you to answer the question, which well or wells should I drill?